What is going on, guys? Money Webby here, back again for Tuesday's 14-game slate. We got a good one here tonight. I got it broken down for you with 6 of my favorite plays personally, 2 pitchers, 4 batters, so hopefully give you some great production and some great matchups. The prices really match up well. And one thing I always try to mention to you guys, it's really important, is definitely follow me on Twitter at MoneyWebby, as I do make some updates on plays, as things cannot work out as they lineups can change. A big one was yesterday with Verdugo. He was batting in that 2 spot for a little while, but the Dodgers moved him all the way down to the 7 spot. So I quickly pivoted from him to David Dahl. David Dahl had a solid night, a home run, good amount of DraftKings points. So that was a big pivot. If you didn't catch that, you definitely got to follow me there. As like I said, a guy in a 2 spot dropping all the way down to the 7 spot really can take away some upside and some opportunities away. And David Dahl in that 1 spot was really a big boost for him as well, with an extra chance for an at bat. So a big thing like that. But before we get going, if you could drop a like in the video, that'd be greatly appreciated. We hit 100 likes yesterday, so let's see if we can come close to that again. Let's try to at least get over 80. That'd be really appreciated. Thank you. Let's hop right into it. So we got some interesting pitchers on this slate. You got Verlander, always a great matchup against anyone, and always has great upside. But I feel like, I don't know, I just kind of want to pay down a little bit, because the SP2s are definitely nothing to be very very excited about. I would say when you got guys like Mike Leake at 8,600, Tanner Roark at 8,300, definitely unappealing. So I'm going to go with DARVISH. I know that he's very risky, very up and down, but this is the matchup that makes a lot of sense for me, at least. Their better hitters are right-handed batters. DARVISH, historically very good against right-handed batters. Is a 27% K rate on the year, so definitely has a strikeout upside. Big thing with him is that command, but over the last month or so, his command has been a lot better. Hasn't had over 2 walks since the beginning of June there, with 3 walks against Colorado. And he's had some big time performances, 29, 27, 2 of the last 3, 32 against the Dodgers. So has had that upside, and like I said, a good matchup on paper. And in July, just the numbers, just kind of projecting his numbers, like the DraftKings totals aren't crazy big. His pitchers are kind of limited in some of these spots when he does struggle, as Joe Madden does have a quick leash. But he has a 245 WOBA against them in July. So that's really good stuff. And I think against the St. Louis lineup, he can get the run support and hopefully continue his good command. And his strikeout ability is always really good when he does have that movement on his pitcher. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my first pitcher. Then I'm going to pair him up with David Price. So we got 2 guys a little bit older in their career, less dominant as they have been towards the heights of their careers, but they've been consistent and pretty solid over the last month or so. And another guy, really good matchup on paper, David Price owns the Tampa Bay Rays. If you look at the BVP, probably one of the most impressive BVPs I've ever seen out of a pitcher against a lineup. And 143 plate appearances, they only have a 207 WOBA, around a 180 batting average, and a 43% K rate against this lineup. And they're pretty banged up. They're without Yandy Diaz, who's one of their better left-handed pitcher batters. Tommy Pham looks like he's highly questionable for this game. Also, obviously, GARCIA is questionable. He did have a sickness the other day and didn't play, so we're not really sure on him yet. But those are 3 big bats that could be out. I think at least 2 of them will be out. I'm expecting Tommy Pham to be out. And they're just lesser off against lefties, I would say. They have a lot of good left-handed batters with Austin Meadows. He's kind of watered down against the lefty. You lose a guy like Choi out of the lineup. Nate Lowe has been pretty solid against righties. So it kind of takes a big hit to their lineup. I think David Price, with how good he's been against his team and how solid he's been in starts besides the Baltimore start, he has been really consistent for the most part. I think he can have another consistent start against a team that he's very consistent against. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my second guy. So that was you with 3,900 remaining per player. Definitely doable, and there's some good bats. I really wanted to pay it for a little bit here. So I didn't want to pay it for the elite guy like Justin Verlander. Solid value at both in the 9,000 range. So for my first hitter, I'm going to go with Bryce Harper, the guy that got paid pretty decently in the offseason, but at 4,600 here, going against San Fran, a team facing a big part downgrade. for Beatty, the right-handed pitcher here. It sets up as a really good spot for Bryce Harper. I think he's been a lot better in Philadelphia here, a lot better power. If you look at his ISO at home this year, he's a 275 ISO, and Beatty has struggled against lefties, 1.5 home runs per 9 allowed, and also 48% hard contact. So when you pitch in a park like San Fran, that high hard contact allowed to lefties can definitely be absorbed by the park, but when you pitch in Philadelphia, not so much. I mean, you're going to give up some home runs with that kind of splits. I think Bryce Harper, definitely the most powerful lefty in this lineup, can definitely get after a guy like Tyler Beatty and show off some good upside. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my first hitter. Then I'm going to pair him up with AJ Pollock, a very up and down guy this year, but a 4,500 in Coors Field. I feel like he always plays well in Coors Field. Not sure. I had to even look it up, but I just had if my memory serves me correct, I feel like he always goes off in Coors Field. He did play here a lot when he played for the Diamondbacks. And against lefties over the last few years, he's been very good. And if you look at his splits this year as well, he has a 404 WOBA versus lefties. The power hasn't been really there, but still hitting for good hard contact. And a park like Coors Field that can definitely kind of get some positive regression against a guy like Kyle Freeland, especially, who's been really bad this year, allowing 2 home runs per 9 to right-handed batters. The splits have been pretty good, 6 for 17 with a triple and a home run. So I think this Dodgers lineup could definitely get after Kyle Freeland and Pollock, one of the better left-handed hitters in this Dodgers lineup. He should be towards the front of it at the top 5 batters, I would expect. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there at a good price tag of $4,500. For my third guy, Willie Calhoun, really impressive stuff this year, finally showing off that upside. A highly touted prospect for the Rangers for the last few years, and he's showing off his upside, especially this year. If you just look at his numbers on the year, 7.9 fantasy points per game, pretty solid. And at home here in Texas, a similar situation to what we're seeing with Bryce Harper. A left-handed batter, really good home run hitting park. Really good hitting conditions, 90-plus degrees, I think both in Philadelphia and Texas here today. And it's a big part downgrade from Mike Leake, a guy that does give up a good amount of hard contact, good amount of home runs already, even pitching in a friendly park. And now he's going to Texas, park downgrade for him. Texas, they're implied over 5 runs. I think Willie Calhoun will have a good amount of RBI chances in this game. I mean, has the upside, 25 DraftKings points the other night, 16. Can hit those big double digits in that 4,200. I just like the price tag and its upside here. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my third hitter. For my final guy, we're going to go with a little bit of a discount. Similar to what I mentioned in the beginning of the video, though. Some things can change with the lineup, but I'm expecting ROBEL GARCIA to stay in that leadoff spot. I mean, just the other night, he was the leadoff hitter. Hasn't been great there with 5 at-bats, only 1 hit in those 2 games. But still, this is a guy that has shown really good upside so far in the year. If you just look at his power numbers, has a 333 ISO in 18 games. Small sample, but he was still doing that same kind of power ability in the AAA, which isn't a joke. Normally that AAA kind of production can translate well enough over to the majors, and it's really translating so far for him so far in 18 games. Like I said, though, small sample, but still leadoff hitter at 3,500 that has been hitting very well. Good power against a struggling pitcher in Adam Wainwright. It's a really good matchup, I think. The leadoff hitter can get up to 5 at-bats if they can get after Wainwright like most teams have been this year. And Wainwright, his splits have been pretty worse against lefties, like the WOBA way up, allowing a good amount of more home runs. Good amount of hard contact to both the lefties and righties. So this Cubs lineup, really good upside every given night. I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there. Hopefully in that leadoff spot. I will update it if he's like way down the lineup. But I'm expecting him to be up in that leadoff spot, hopefully. But those are the 6 plays you got. DARVISH, David Price, ROBEL GARCIA, Bryce Harper, AJ Pollock, and Willie Calhoun. So some pretty good prices, I would say, in those 4 hitters. I think all those guys give us some good upside. And we got 2 consistent pitchers over the last month or so. Hopefully, DARVISH can have that command. If he does, he's in for a really good night, I think. So those are the plays, though. Slap a like on it before you leave if you enjoyed it. Like I said before, follow me on Twitter at MoneyWebby for any updates on these plays. Good luck here tonight. Hit that subscribe button as well so you don't miss out on any more videos. And hope you guys win some money. We'll see you back here again next time.